Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Daddy Issues, where we talk about all things dads, divorced dads, separation, custody battles, alienation. The list goes on. There's so many men going through something like this, and this podcast is here to tell their stories and hopefully lend some advice to some other fathers out there. Thank you for listening. Man, well, thank you for jumping on the podcast.
Yeah, thanks for the invite.
Cool, yeah. If you want to introduce yourself and then tell us a little bit about your situation.
All right, yeah, for sure. My name's Andrew. My ex-wife and I were married for 10 years. We got 2 kids, got a little boy that's 7 and then a girl that's 4. We got divorced in March of this year. So it's just been a few months.
Brand new, yeah.
Yeah.
You look how old? You look pretty young, married for 10 years.
Yeah, I'll be 37 next month.
Wow, okay. Yeah.
So yeah, I got married kind of young. But yeah, there there were a lot of things like there are, anytime something like this happens, ultimately, just she decided it wasn't working out for her, and she decided she liked her boyfriend better. So
Wait. Damn. I'm sorry to hear that, but damn. Okay.
So yes, we separated for a year, and then like I said, just got divorced in March. And so, the big thing for me is just trying to take care of the kids through everything, make sure they're, loved and taken care of and feel like they're safe with everybody. And I know they've had kind of a hard time, especially my son. I think my daughter is still young enough. She, doesn't really understand what's happened, but it's been kind of hard for my son. But I think that the biggest thing I've learned as far as the kids is just take emotion out of it when I'm, dealing with her. Because there is, nothing that can make you angry like an ex-spouse.
Right. Totally agree with that.
But if you react to things in anger, it's the kids ultimately that are getting hurt. And so I've had to learn to just, take emotion out of it, deal with her, as calmly and peacefully as I can. And just, try to make sure that the kids, have a good relationship with her. And that, none of the stuff between she and I comes between her and the kids.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it's funny that you say that because, and people are probably getting sick of hearing me say this, but every time I talk to a dad on here, it's always, he's trying to do the right thing. He won't bad talk to mom, especially in front of the kids. Like he wants the kids to, love their mom as well. And it's almost like on the other side, it just doesn't happen like that. On the other side, it's kind of talking shit to the kids, bad talking to dad, putting them down. They don't want to work on, resolving any issues. It's like, let's go to court and we'll figure it out that way. It's every single dad I've had on here so far who's has something similar like that has said that.
Yeah. And I think I've been lucky. I don't think, she's like directly said anything bad about me or anything.
That's
I know,
good.
I know she has said like some things. My son, a few months ago asked me, why does mommy hate you? And I said, well, did she say that? And he said, no, but she, she told me that I'm not allowed to talk about you and that she doesn't like you. So I know she hates you.
Right. But those are the little things that kids pick up on that we might not realize that we're actually saying or doing.
But but that's been about it.
That's
so
good.
If all the things that she could be saying, yes, I think, I think I'm getting off lucky.
Yeah.
I think part of that is since the separation, she's been living with her mom, and her mom and I still have a really good relationship.
That's awesome.
And so I think her mom has kind of been an influence in not allowing things like that
Yeah.
around the kids.
And
So that's
now,
been good.
is she still with her boyfriend or
Yes.
no? Okay, so she is
Yeah.
still with him, but they're not living together.
No, not yet. My suspicion is that she'll wait until um, the alimony payments are done
Yeah, sounds about right.
to do anything.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the kids talk about him, maybe being their stepdad and stuff. So
Okay. Yeah, how's court situation like? Is it pretty amicable?
uh, it depends. uh, we're still trying to work out custody. She's definitely not as hostile as she has been,
Yeah,
but she still has she can't give up control. Like she can't control me anymore, and so now she's like trying to control me through the kids, and
yeah.
so she's trying to maintain that control.
And
So it's been hard to.
do you have like 50-50 custody, or are you trying to get 50-50? How's that?
I would love to have 50-50 with my job. You can see I'm in my truck. I'm a truck driver. I'm on the road, a couple weeks at a time.
Oh wow.
So yeah, I'm only home like every other weekend.
Yeah.
Um, so what I'm going for is joint legal custody, and then right,
So you can still make decisions when, for doctors or anything that's
right,
legal. Okay.
yeah, exactly. And then hopefully at some point my job situation will change, and I can go for 50-50.
Yeah. That's awesome. Now, did that have something to do with the your and her's breakup or anything? Like you being gone for a couple weeks out of the month, or like did she just get kind of lonely or?
I'm sure that contributed. Um, but I mean, ultimately, at the end of the day, she was looking to me to make her happy,
Yeah,
and nobody can make you happy but
it'll
you.
never work. Yeah.
Yeah, and so she decided that I wasn't going to make her happy, and so she'd go find somebody else that hopefully would.
Awesome. Well, do you have any advice that you would give to any other dads out there that that might be going through something similar?
Yeah, just focus on your kids. Like I said, if you're dealing with their mom, just take emotion out of it. Um, I'll tell you, uh, we had a custody mediation a while back, and I was working a different job that it didn't end up working out, but with that job, I was going to be home every weekend, and so we went to this mediation, and I said, "Hey, I want to have the kids every weekend," and she, started throwing out all these accusations, and well, I don't actually think he should have them at all. And so after that, she stopped letting me have the kids. I didn't see him for, I think it was over 2 months. That,
Wow.
that she just stopped, wouldn't let me have the kids, and I did video call them, and I video called them not long after she stopped letting me have them, and my son asked me, "Why can't we come over to your house?" And I said, "I don't really know, buddy. I don't really understand it. You have to talk to mommy." And the next time that I asked her, if I could video call him, she said, "Well, if you agree, not to, tell them it's my fault that they can't see you, because there's all these issues that you're working on," and had basically wanted me to take the responsibility for it.
Yeah.
And I don't think I've ever been as angry as I was when I got that message from her. Um,
And it's so hard for the kids because they don't understand what's happening. They have no clue. They're just, they're just being kids.
right, exactly. Um, you know, but I just said, okay, fine. And, so I was able to keep talking to the kids. And, I think that's just the most important thing, is just focus on the kids, put yourself aside, and, you might have to take some kicks in the teeth, but you got to do what you got to do for the kids.
It's worth it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely. It's that relationship with the kids is what's going to last the rest of your life. The relationship with the ex is over.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, and that's what's tough too. Is like if you mess with that when the kids are young and still developing, like who they are as a person, it will mess with them for a very long time, like into their adulthood.
yeah,
So it's like try to make it as easy as possible. Like you said, even if you're getting some kicks to the teeth, it's like it'll be worth it. It sucks for you, but you made these kids, and it's like do whatever you got to do to make them, you know, normal as you can, growing up.
right.
So
Yeah, absolutely. And as the kids get older, they're going to see what's going on. They're going to figure out, um, who's doing what. So if the ex is bad talking you and spreading lies, whatever, the kids are going to figure that out at some point. And
definitely.
so it's ultimately it's going to be their relationship with her that are going to be damaged, and not their relationship with you. Uh, but if you're turning around doing the same thing, then it is going to be your relationship with them that gets damaged.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, that's I've only been in it for 6 years. I mean, 6 years feels like a long time, but there's been some other dads who've been in it for much longer. But that's what everybody keeps saying is, down the road the kids will understand, and it sucks when you're going through it and your kids are young and you just want them to have a great normal life. But at the same time, it's like you can't sit there and you know tell them what's going on or argue with them, or it's just not good for them. So it's like, you gotta keep your emotions, set them aside, and just, let your kids grow up.
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime they say, "Oh, um, mommy was being mean," or whatever, I'm just like, "Don't talk about your mom like that." We love your
Perfect.
mom. She's a good mom, and that's what you got to do.
Yeah. Even though it probably hurts to say that shit. It hurts for me to say that shit,
Yeah,
but I do it because I'm like, I don't want them thinking badly of their mother.
right.
So
Yeah, well, even with her boyfriends, they talk about going out and doing things with her and the boyfriend, and my son just told me this last weekend that that he loves the boyfriend, and
oh,
I said,
that
well,
he your
what,
son
buddy?
your son said that?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah. My son says, yeah, I love him, and I said, that's good, buddy. If he's going to be around, I want you to love him.
Right.
You know,
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, I could only imagine like that is hard for you. For I can only imagine it's probably hard for you to say that, but it's good at the same time. Like your son obviously knows who dad is and knows, you know what I mean. But
yeah,
it's good to have that, especially if he's going to be a caretaker. Hopefully a good one. So it's good to have that
yeah,
around.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. It hurts whenever I hear stories about him, whatever. But
yeah. And how old is your son?
he's almost 7.
7. Okay, yeah. So he's still pretty young.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. And I guess the good thing too is like she's not bringing over, a bunch of different guys all the time. It's been this one
Right.
steady guy, so
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
that's good for your kids.
Yeah. And and I check in with them. Make sure, hey, is he nice to you? Does he talk nice to you? And I've talked to her mother about him a little bit. I still haven't met him.
Yeah.
Um, but like I said, I've talked to her mother, and by all accounts, he's a good guy. So I'm glad for that. If he's going to be around the kids, that he'll be a good role model for him.
Yeah. Now, when you have to get in contact with your ex or anything, do you kind of call her mom and talk to her first, or are you able to call your ex or text her or whatever?
So yeah, we use an app. It's called Talking Parents. Uh, and it was at her insistence actually that we use it, but it keeps all the messages, any
Yeah.
phone calls, video calls, anything is recorded, um, so you can pull that up and excuse me. It's actually worked out great for me because working with custody, I've been able to just send transcripts of all our messages over to my lawyer.
I was just about to
What's she
say
saying?
exactly. I was just about to say that. I go, when you said it was her idea to do it, I was probably like, well, she probably screwed herself because usually it's them doing some stupid stuff like that. That's funny.
Yeah. Yeah, when everything first happened, she told me she wanted the separation and stuff, and she laid out, all these complaints that she had. I felt horrible. I felt like the biggest failure in the world.
Yeah.
I mean, it was months before I even talked to like my parents or anybody about it, and they actually uh, broached the subject with me because I guess my older sister had kind of felt like something was going on, and so she'd reached out to my ex, and so my ex had told her that we were separated, and she told my parents, and I was talking to them, and they were like, "Hey, are you separated?" Uh, because I was just so embarrassed because I think there's still this perception that anytime a couple breaks up, that it's the man's fault, right? And the woman's a victim, and so I even had that. I was like, well, she's saying all these things, that must be true. Like she's saying I was, emotionally abusive and things, and I was like, I absolutely never intended to be.
Right. Then you look back and you're like, where could I have fixed this? What did I do?
Yep, exactly, and and so then she insisted on this app and all these things, saying she wants to protect herself, and I felt like, man, did I really, do things so badly? And of course, there's been a lot of, reflection and therapy and things and learning that, she's projecting a lot
Yep.
uh, onto me. But, all I can do is try to take an honest look at myself, take the things, where she was right. She had legitimate complaints and trying to correct it.
Yep.
Um, eh, it's been a big learning process.
Definitely. Definitely. Well, thank you so much, Andrew, for jumping on. I know you're at work, but you should almost do like a podcast on the road when you're driving.
Yeah, I've thought about it.
Damn, yeah. And the audio is great too. I love it.
Good. Good. I'm glad.
Awesome, man. Well, I really appreciate you coming on, man. Thank you very much.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. All right. Have a good one.
All right. Thanks. You too.
All right. Later.
All right. Bye.